The Soul Fantasy Show, Soul Fan Show. Hey, it's the Soul Fantasy Show live for June 2nd, 2020. Going over the top picks, plays, and studs for Draftkings and Fanduel. If you already haven't, please subscribe to this glorious channel. We have Boston, Minnesota, right smack dab on top is Karl Anthony Towns, the Soul stud of the day, one of my very favorite players. Karl Anthony Towns is going to get you well over 50 fantasy points. He has a 23% chance to get 60 plus fantasy points. He could get you 80 to fucking 90 fantasy points today. I'm thinking he could get 60 to 80 fantasy points easily today. Easily. He's just going to be all over the court all day long. He's 10-6 on FanDuel. 1,100 minutes. He made 300 field goals, 378 rebounds, 153 assists, only a 13% turnover ratio, 33 steals, and he had 42 block shots. Now, block shots are going to get you a lot of fantasy points. Count him in for 1.5 blocks today. All right. Some of his data from very early on in the season, as you know, he was injured during the season. 50, 57, 64, 50. He rarely gets under 30 fantasy points. And today, against the Celtics, he's going to get 50 to 80 fantasy points. All right. It's one of the top studs I've seen in a while. Tatum, he's not on the same exact page. He's a little cheaper at 9.8, but he has a good chance to get 40 to 50 fantasy points too. He could get the same amount as Karl Anthony Towns. I would not be surprised if that happens. His matchup is not that hard. It's a fairly easy matchup. He played 2,000 minutes, 500 field goals made, almost 500 rebounds. Turnover ratio only 10%, 83 steals, 53 blocks. Jason Tatum is a lock. The Soul baby stud of the day. 50, 34, 34, 58, 64, 57, 44, 62. Oh, man. His game's just nice. Then you have D'Angelo Russell at 9,000, a little cheaper. A little bit easier matchup than Tatum, 20 there. 1.27 fantasy points per minute. Man, he could even get, I don't think he's going to get that 83 there, but there is an outside shot that he gets 83 fantasy. But look at that, 83, 49, 32, 45. D'Angelo Russell could put you up in the upper 60s, in the lower 60s, 50. He's definitely getting at least 40. So for 9K, he's good to go. Kemba Walker, Brown, Gordon Hayward. Obviously, they are choices. But I'm not crazy about Kemba Walker today. He has a hard matchup. He's going to get 30 fantasy points. Jaylen Brown, also 30 fantasy points. He's a good option. He's not going to get under 25 fantasy points. 8,000, though, okay? 5 times value. Here, before we go on, here's a little bit of the news for today, for a little video for you.
Even if sports was all the way back, right, it would be impossible to ignore what's happening in our country right now. Leagues and their players all over the world.
J.R. Smith beats up a man.
Florida. Yeah, per usual, athletes sending to communities and helping either by marching with people, providing words of positivity during this time. We've seen that over the weekend. Just want to take a look at some of what we saw over the weekend, the types of scenes that we noticed. Players joining the protest for justice for George Floyd. Celtics, Jaylen Brown, Malcolm Brogdon for the Pacers there, even Spurs, Lonnie Walker.
So, according to this, someone actually started fucking up J.R. Smith's truck in Los Angeles, and he just beat the crap out of him.
Of course, releasing a statement, we are being reminded that there are wounds in our country that have
Those
never
are some
hit.
words from
Racism,
Adam
police
Silver, our
brutality, and racial
commissioner.
injustice remain part
All right.
of everyday life
Here's some
in America
fantasy
and
preseason
cannot be
overall.
ignored.
McCaffrey, Jackson,
College athletes, of
Elliott,
course,
Cook,
also
Barkley,
joining the
Mahomes,
fight, high school
Kamar,
basketball
Henry,
player, Seth
Prescott,
Towns,
Mixon,
a graduate
Eckler, and
transfer from
Thomas.
Harvard,
Those are
was
the top.
detained by local police officers
Those are
at
the
a
top
protest on Friday
fantasy
in Columbus,
studs
Ohio.
in football.
The protest
Then after
came
that,
forward days
Allen,
after
Jared
George
Allen,
Floyd, of course,
Julio
passed away while
Jones,
in
Chubb,
police custody.
Jacobs,
This
Drake.
head coach of the Buckeyes,
Like I said
basketball
yesterday, we'll talk about that
program there,
later
Chris Holtman,
in the
reacting
video.
as well.
Jones,
Said we fully
Kelsey,
support our
Wilson, Russell
players'
Wilson,
right to
Sean
peacefully
Watson,
protest.
Bell,
In a time I've
Carson,
gotten to know
Edwards,
Seth,
Brady,
it's clear that he has a heart for
right there,
social
27.
justice. In
Tyreek
Germany,
Hill,
of
Gurley,
course,
Breeze,
4
Ingram,
young
Fournette,
soccer
Hopkins,
players
Connor,
in the
Steeler,
Bundesliga addressing the
Steelers
protests against
D,
police
wow,
brutality
and
and calls
Gordon.
for justice over
So
the
that's
weekend.
some news for you. We're back here again. I would play Brown. He's a quite the fine option. So now, those are the top expensive plays. All right. Gordon could get you 32, 36, or 30. Smart could get you 37, 28, or 30. Thies could get you 13 to 26 fantasy points. That's what I'm projecting him for. He'll probably hit his mark at 23.7 point something. Okay, maybe 22, maybe 26. All right. Nas Reed, we'll take that X off for the simulator. See you later. Ennis Canner priced up accordingly. I'm not playing him now. He's been priced up. So last time he was about 3K, 4K. All right, he got priced up because he did good, like I said he would do. Okay, here's some of his stats. You could still play him, all right? But he's going to give you one of these crappy numbers right there. There's an outside chance that he does something, but I'm not taking the risk at that price. When you have Beasley, man, these guys are expensive. Even these cheap guys. Juan Herman Gomez was pretty sought after during the season because of injuries. I'd avoid Evan Turner. Okay, yes, I would. I mean, if you want 10 fantasy points, throw Evan Turner in. He might get you 20 somehow, but I doubt it. Former 76ers. All right, I like Beasley a little bit. I do. He can get 33, 37, 42, or 14, or 11, or 2, or 6. There's an outside chance that he's only going to get 2 to 10 fantasy points and completely screw you over. He's only projected at 2.9 times value. Now, Robert Williams, 15.3 times value, according to the simulated scores, a 50% chance to get basically 14 to 30 fantasy points. All right, and you got James Johnson, who I would play. I would get him in there. He's getting a fantasy point per minute. James Johnson could get you a 27 or a 1. He's not going to get you 1. He has a 39% chance to get 15 to 30 fantasy points. That's about where he's going to land. All right, let's go over the lineup optimizer and try to break it down real nice for you. Karl Anthony Towns, Cantor, Johnson, Thies, Gordon, Walker. Pretty much what I just went over in a nutshell. McLaughlin, I would probably try to avoid. So most people are going to have Karl Anthony Towns here, but you can play Tatum right there. And then you would have to, think what you're going to do. You could go Josh, Harmon Gomez, Johnson, and Johnson here. Kemba Walker, Gordon Hayward, Smart. So you would go Smart. I would definitely play D'Angelo Russell, Jaylen Brown. And you have a chance to put Beasley in. You could do that. All right. So say we want to just go a lot cheaper here with Marcus Smart. Then we're going to have to try to get these big guys in. Towns. Keep Hayward in for a chance. How can we get somebody nice in there? You could just go here. That way you can get Tatum in. You could do this. This, I don't have a problem if you fuck around and act cute today. You might have to get cute with a funny lineup like this. It's not a bad lineup. I mean, Nas Reed's cheap today. He's a soul sleeper of the day. Nas Reed at $2,800 with a 79 DD. DD, double Ds. We love sucking on them shits. All right, so most people and probably the winner will have Karl Anthony Towns in the MVP spot. This right here is a very nice lineup, and you can even think about what you're going to do here. See McLaughlin, I would just go right up to Johnson there. All right, I would do that. So here's one with Tatum. They have Amari Spellman in there. I would not play. So who do we have over? And we could play Naz Reid, Harama Gomez. You could go there. You could then go here. Then you could just... I really don't like Hayward today, but if you want to go with him, go with him. All right. So let's see what we can do with Towns and then try to get some better players in. So we would have to then get rid of him. So if you're going to get rid of D'Angelo Russell, substitute him with somebody like Marcus Smart. And then put Hayward in there. So now you have a big opportunity here to try to get him in there. So you'd have, I really don't want to get rid of Tatum for Brown. So I would probably just wouldn't go Wanamaker. Yeah, this one's tough. So we're gonna have to, if you want D'Angelo Russell, Tatum, and Towns, and with Towns as your MVP, you're gonna have to make a decision on Hayward or Smart, which one you're gonna get rid of, because you already went cheap with Nas, so now you gotta go cheap again, and you just gotta go like this. All right, it's the Soul Fan Show. Soul Fan Show. Please subscribe to this channel if you already have not.